Wheel of Irrelevance. Ding! What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM. Time to look at the teeny little bits of news that are starting this week. And we've got two, neither of which are worthy of SteamYard. But whatever, because both of these fall under the category of Wheel of Irrelevance, where we take a look at something that people have blown out of proportion and go, why is this a thing? What? Why? And of course, the number one story that is rattling the cages of the tabletop role-playing game community is the Leyline Press story. If you remember last week, this small little company out in Europe fired or chose to not work with one of their editors anymore because that editor had chosen to work with other companies, one of those companies being the people who make Lamentations of the Flame Princess. And by process of Wizards of the Coast logic, Leyline Press went, well, this guy worked for another company, and this company has worked for and with people who are kind of have been problematic in the history of our hobby, but depending upon your opinion, from like a couple years ago. So therefore, this guy is problematic. So therefore, we don't want to work with him anymore because he's a bigot. Because he worked with this company who are bigots. Even though the company Lamentations of the Flame Princess, although it has been marred in controversy, none of the controversies it has been marred in relate to this topic. Now, you know what? This guy was freelance. You could choose not to work with him ever again for whatever reasons, Leyline Press, and no one would care. No one would care. Unless that guy went around and made a story out of it, no one would have cared. No one would have known. You know, every time Target fires somebody, they don't post a big news story about it. They just fire the guy. And if the guy says something about it, maybe they'll do something, maybe they won't. But you went out of your way, Leyline Press, to let people know. Not in a simple text. No, in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-page text. To let people know that you are such amazing humans at the pinnacle, at the peak of evolution, that you chose to end your association with this guy because of a vague connection to something somebody might consider problematic. And what you did by doing this, instead of making yourself look like, look at us, we're the good guys, look what we did, you made yourself look stupid. And people have been boycotting you and talking crap about you ever since. Not only that, you brought so much attention to Lamentations of the Flame Princess, they put all their product up on drive-thru for $1.50 each, and over 200,000 copies of that product has been purchased so far, still going. So because of your silly choice, Lamentations of the Flame Princess is more popular and more well-known now than it ever was before, making bank thanks to you. Currently, the number one selling thing on drive-thru is Lamentations of the Flame Princess stuff, both PDF and hardback, because you chose to do this. In addition, you're banning people left and right instead of engaging in an intellectual conversation. So instead of spinning the wheel of irrelevance and going, you know what, maybe we should address this. No, if somebody posts anything regarding to you on your site or on your Twitter or your Reddit, you're just banning them. In fact, now people are getting banned simply because they're connected to people who have spoken to you. Like, I've been banned from Leyline Press, even though I never said anything to them. I did make a video about it, so that could be the reason why I was banned. Or it could be because I know people who actually did say things. Now, I'm of the category that this guy can do whatever he wants to make a living. It shouldn't affect his job. And for you to not only say you're not going to associate with him anymore, but remove his name from all the products so he can't claim it on a resume or whatever, well, that's just bad business, and it'll end up exploding in your face. And your excuse is, we didn't know. We didn't know that he'd done this when we hired him. Well, first, you didn't hire him. He's freelance. And second, how did you not know? Are you admitting you didn't look at his resume and check his contacts before you hired him for the job? Because that sounds like that's on you. Not him. It's not his. All he has to do is give you the resume and a list of contents. That's it. He's done his job. It's your job to double check his references and stuff. Whether did he in fact work for Target or not? oh, I see this name here. I should maybe check to see if this is something that is problematic. But you didn't, because you said you didn't know, which means you weren't competent enough to check. And now there's concern that you haven't even paid the guy, which would get you into legal muddy waters. Now, I'm not familiar enough with the legal stuff over where these guys are, because these guys are across the pond over in Europe. So who knows what the laws like are there. I assume they're similar to ours, which means that you've opened yourself up to a cornucopia of potential lawsuits, and you have disgraced yourself across the gaming community. Nobody's going to be buying your product ever again, or at least not for a while. So way to go. Way to go. Way to go. So that's story number 1 from the Wheel of Irrelevance. Where do you stand on this story? Do you think Leyline Press made the right choice? I'm sure there's somebody out there who thought this was a good idea. Or are you like 99% of the rest of the community who went, you know what, we wouldn't have cared if you just let the guy go. In fact, we wouldn't have known if you just let the guy know. But you went out of your way to let us know. And you went out of your way to let us know on a 5-page text where you constantly brought up the point of why you did this, while you're a good guy, while you're against all this bigotry, and while you want to set the standard, and all you did was made yourself look stupid. And the more you mentioned it, the dumber you looked, because nobody needed to know that you ended your association with this guy, and nobody needed to know why. But because you went out of your way, you now look like a chump. And you actually helped Lamentations of the Flame Princess make tons of money, and you've made yourself lose tons of potential people who might have been interested in your product, and you're banning people left and right, which does nothing to improve your standing with the media. So apparently you've taken a page out of the Wizards of the Coast book of how to deal with fans. There you go. What do you guys think of this story? We'll be back with more tales of the irrelevant in just a moment. Till then, I am the OG GM. If you appreciate this stuff, let me know. If you don't appreciate this stuff, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. If you're feeling generous, maybe consider supporting the OG GM, because I got tons of wonderful merch that's available for you to buy over on Big Geek Emporium. Why isn't my phone charging? Charge, phone, charge. Stupid comptometers are stupid. Till next time, stop it. Makes it beep, noise, things, words. See ya.